My whole life, I always knew I was special. Even with no remainders, I could always move a decimal. Money on my mind while the girls that made un beso. Hustlers in my blood and it's running through my vessels. Just trying to clear the threshold, just trying to make a way. In my race against time, I could see an early grave. School to prison pipeline, 12 years a slave. Suspension and detention is conditioned for a cage.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Joshua Buatsi ready for Dmitry Bivol, or should he take a fight with a guy like Anthony Yarde first? I'm going to turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill because we finally got Trill back after the technical difficulties. Trill Dollar Bill, do you believe that Joshua Buatsi is ready for Bivol, or should he take on someone like Anthony Yarde next?
Nah, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest. He should fight that guy, Craig Richardson, again.
Yo, Chill, I was thinking the same thing though.
Like, leave those guys alone. He's not ready yet. Not yet. And then we was talking about it, through the text messages, and my response was, nah. Is he ready for those guys? Nah. He's not even ready for the guy that just left 168, and that was the number one guy at 168, and that moved to 175. He's not even ready for that guy. And that guy, to me, is going to be a problem at 175. And that's 40 Callum Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People forget about Callum Smith. So he just moved to 175. So y'all got another guy over there that y'all should be, but he ain't it. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. And you put him in there too soon, he'll be stopped real soon. Because he ain't gonna make it to the 12. Y'all just want to pump your brakes on him. Maybe he could be the future. But right now, throwing him in there with these guys, nah, he still got some things to learn. Because I don't see it.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Yeah, before I even answer this question, Eddie Hearn, please do not make Buatsi the new Dillian White, bro. That dude's career, man. It's all right to slow it down just a little bit, like do the matchmaking a little better, like when I heard Eddie say that, I was like, hold on. After this performance, you talking about you ready for Bivol? Like, oh, stop this right now. This is cap. But Eddie was so confident, like. And then Buatsi was confirming it. I was like, yo, where's Virgil Hunter to
Yo, G, one quick ad lib. Eddie Hearn's like McDonald's, 99 million burgers served a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just serves food to the fighters.
It made no sense to me. I'm like, yo, is Eddie not watching the performance that I'm watching? And to be honest with you, like, I don't even think he's ready for Yarde either. Like Bivol and Yarde. Nah, I think he should do the rematch with Richards, get more rounds under your belt. And this is the difference between a Richards and a Yarde. Yarde, he punches harder than Richards. And with Yarde, although I know people may hate how Yarde, he may be somewhat inactive in rounds, when he does land, he lands clean and they're real power shots. Richard, like, he had a lot of volume, but there wasn't really that much power in them shots like that. I don't know if Buatsi could take hooks and uppercuts from a Yarde the way he was taking from a Richards. So it's a real gamble. Same thing with Bivol. Now, the difference between Bivol and Richards is this. Bivol's power doesn't fade, but he knows, and the reason why is because he doesn't exert himself the way that Richards was doing or Buatsi was doing in that fight yesterday. So now it's like Buatsi, like, and it could be, I don't know if I won't say bad blood, but I felt like he was on a mission to prove something last night. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna have that same strategy with Bivol. I think he'll be wiser in knowing that, hey, Bivol is a champion. I can't be too reckless. But then again, he shows a lot of in moments he shows his inexperience, like his inability to actually make sound decisions, right? And so he kind of seems like an emotional fighter. And I don't know if Virgil could prep him in time for his next fight to be Bivol. I don't see that happening. A Yarde fight, he may have a better chance, but I don't know, man. The shots that he was taking from Richards, if Yarde lands those shots, man, I think this dude's going to get dropped, you know? So I think he should do another fight with Richards, you know, and this time make it where it's like it's a definitive victory, right? Like, hey, I'm going to knock this dude out, possibly in the later rounds to show like, hey, I was just getting acclimated to all of these rounds. Now I'm ready to move up to a Yarde because I don't know if he's ready for Bivol. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think, Eddie, I don't know what you're doing right now with this guy. I don't know why you like to fast forward everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? What you're doing with Conor Ben, do that for Buatsi, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing a good job with Conor Ben. Do the same thing with this young man. Like, don't jump the gun and try to get this dude executed for no reason. It's not fair, man. Like, this kid, he got skills. He just needs to fine tune them. He's like he's almost there. I'm telling you, he's almost there. Give him like 2 more fights and then he'll be ready. Well, I don't know if he'll win, but he'll be at least ready for a championship fight. I'll say that. In 2 more fights.
All right, let's do it like this. Is he ready for Dmitry Bivol? Hell no. Hell no. He's not ready for Bivol. And you can make the argument that Craig Richards gave Bivol a hard time, but that was during the pandemic. And there were a lot of upsets during the pandemic. And trust me, one of the biggest upsets during the pandemic is that, like, you know, I put on weight and the gyms were closed. So the gyms open up.
Hold on. You know who else put on weight during the pandemic? David Benavidez. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
That's when he lost.
I know. Hey, I'm not judging a brother because it happened to a lot of people, you know. But what I would say is this: during the pandemic, right, I put on weight and I went to play basketball with some of like the young kids who I would normally like school, and it would be easy work. Like, you know, all people do my thing. Bruh, it wasn't as easy. My first step wasn't getting me the distance that it would normally get me. And so they were sitting there, whatever. And then, you know, as the gyms were open, and then I end up getting back to myself, I went in there rolling it, dunking it again. And then them kids were like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, just to let y'all know, it was a fluke. I just wasn't in shape.
You young.
I say all that to say this. That's what happened with Dmitry Bivol. Like when he fought Craig Richards, he wasn't in the best shape. It was the pandemic. He went to get a check, and Craig Richards happened to be better than he thought. Whoa, Caden, how do you know this? Because I saw what he did against Canelo. That guy who fought Canelo was not in the ring with Craig Richards.
Exactly.
That was a different guy. It was a completely different guy. So that's how I know that Craig Richards didn't get the best Dmitry Bivol. Now, you take Dmitry Bivol that I saw fight Canelo, and you put him in the ring with Joshua Buatsi, and I'm telling you right now, he cook him. Overcommitting to punches. Look at what happened when Canelo overcommitted to punches. Now, I know some of you may convince yourself that Buatsi's better than Canelo. I don't know. Or would have a better chance than Canelo. I don't know, maybe. Based on how, I don't know. But Canelo's a very skilled fighter. Number 1 on most pound-for-pound list going into that fight. Buatsi never sniffed a pound-for-pound list. And when Canelo would mess up, Bivol made Canelo pay. So what's he going to do to Buatsi? The question shouldn't be, is Joshua Buatsi ready for Bivol? It should be, is Joshua Buatsi ready for Anthony Yarde, to me? Because if he fights Anthony Yarde the way that he fought Craig Richards, I think Anthony Yarde would beat him. Y'all can laugh at Anthony Yarde, but he's been in the ring with better opposition than Buatsi. I know y'all like Buatsi because he won a bronze medal. You saw him win a bronze medal in the Olympics. But in the pros, who's his toughest opponent that he's faced? Craig Richards? You think Craig Richards is better than the Kovalev that Anthony Yarde fought? Anthony Yarde was beating, wasn't confident he would get the decision, so Tunde Ajayi told him, empty the tank in the 8th round. So he goes and he tries to knock out Kovalev, doesn't succeed, and then Kovalev stops him later. People question that instruction. But if you look at it and you're like, yo, I'm fighting in his country, I'm in his backyard, I believe I'm up on the scorecards, but I'm not confident I'm gonna get the decision. He's fading. That's not bad instruction to say, don't leave it to the judges. Take him out now. And Anthony Yarde almost did that. So Anthony Yarde somehow gets judged critically. I don't understand why the UK don't like Anthony Yarde. But I'm gonna tell you this, as a kid from the USA who watched that fight, I think Anthony Yarde would beat Buatsi, especially off of what I saw last night. Not only do I think Anthony Yarde would beat Buatsi, I think Lyndon Arthur would beat Buatsi. I think Lyndon Arthur would. What do you think, G? I think Lyndon Arthur would beat Buatsi. You don't think Lyndon Arthur would beat Buatsi?
Nah, man, that dude had doesn't he need shoulder surgery, man? He has one arm, bro.
I'm saying if he was himself, I'm saying let him get back. Lyndon Arthur who beat Anthony Yarde in the first fight, who got the decision in the first fight.
You see, that's a great point. Buatsi will get dominated by the first Arthur in the Yarde fight because he just maintained the distance. And Buatsi, I don't understand this guy, man. It's just he doesn't like to go back to the fundamentals of the jab. Arthur's pretty good at the jab. I think Buatsi would lose by decision in that fight, in that first one. But then the second one, Arthur was fighting pretty much one-handed and got smacked.
That's whatever. I don't believe that. I believe that Anthony Yarde changed the strategy, got inside, was more aggressive. But hey, whatever's whatever, right? The bottom line is there's still dispute to me who's the best 175-pounder in the UK. And his performance last night doesn't make me say, oh, that Buatsi. It doesn't. So, he's a good fighter. He has potential. He needs more fights. He needs more polish. He needs more preparation. And like G said, then maybe he can compete with a Bivol. But at this particular point in time, asking if he can beat Bivol or if he's ready for Bivol is setting him up for failure. That's just my opinion, though.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.